Debbie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was inspired by Cindy Art Studio on YouTube for these colors. I've been wanting to do them for quite some time and just decided today's the day. This is my painting number 300. So I'm on painting 300 and I'm just going to get right to the colors because I'm inspired by these colors. So she had her base was half kind of a dark true blue. You'll be able to see it better when I put it down, but blues, when they dry darker. So Prussian blue hue by Liquitex, I use it quite often, and it dries, if you use the full concentration of it, it dries almost black. So this, I wanted to show that it was, you know, a true blue and not black. So I put white in it. And so this is like 10 parts Prussian blue hue to 3 parts white. And what I usually do is mix up, when I'm doing a different color, I usually mix up my white paint and my colored paint, whatever color it is, the same color, and then I, after I mix the Floetrol and the water in with the colors, then I start mixing them together to get the shade I want to have. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. It's going to be a little tricky for me because I'm not used to pouring out of a cup, but I'm going to do the bottom half here, I'm going to do in this blue, and then the top half I'm going to do with my mixture of titanium white Amsterdam. Alright, so let me put this to the side here. Got another painting drying over here. And then the first color, she didn't say any of her colors, so I don't know exactly what brand she's using or color she's using, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't have to have it exactly like her. You're never going to get a pour painting, acrylic pour painting exactly. There's just no way to do it. But if you use the same colors and the same brands of colors that somebody's doing, you can come close to getting like cells that react and respond together and all that. You can get close, but you're never, ever, ever gonna get the exact same blowout. I don't care if you hold your blow dryer the same way, hold your tongue out, I don't care how you do it. You're never gonna get the same results. So anyway, I don't know what brand she used, but I took Dioxazine purple. Can't remember what brand it was. Hang on. So this is Liquitex Dioxazine purple, and I took this and I added some white to it, and I think it was like 10 parts to 5 parts white. So 10 parts purple, 5 parts white, and I came up with that color, and you'll see it more. Let me take the lid off, see if you can see it better. Can you see that? The light's not good, but anyway, that's going to be my first color I lay down. And it's not as light as this. This is Compost Violet by Holbein. I wanted it a little darker than this, so it's a little darker than this. And I'm going to put these over to the side so I don't get them mixed up. Alright, so this is going to be my first color. Then my second color is going to be Iridescent Green Yellow by Pebeo. And then I'm going to do Pearl Lilac by Arteza. And I'm going to do Pearl Crystal Blue by Master's Touch. Then I'm going to put down Cobalt Blue Hue by Winsor and Newton. And this one is Pearl Violet by Master's Touch. And this one is Pearl Sea Green by Arteza. And this one is Primary Yellow by Liquitex. So those are the colors. That's going to be fun. Alright, so I'm going to put these over here to the side in this order. And then I'm also going to lay them out just a little different. I'm mean, not mock the way she was doing it. She did it a whole different way, but I'm going to just do it my way, trying her version. How's that? So anyway, it'll be fun. I'll bring you back down when I get my canvas flooded. Hi Briar, hi Colton, hi Darcy, hi Luke, hi Eli. Have to say hello to my grandkids. Oh mercy, here's my base paint. I'm laying down with a cup and it is so hard. You'll see that I put way too much base paint on and I'm having to take a lot of it off and put it back in my cup. So anyway, just not used to this cup pouring, but you see how dark the paint is compared to my canvas, and it really would do well if you would paint your canvas the same color as the paint you're laying down. Then you can be for sure you've got good coverage. But I've done this a long time, so I can tend to my painting and dab my corners and dab my edges where it's gotten a little bare, and that's just what I do on my level 1 canvases. On my level 3 canvases I paint the sides and I paint some of the edge of the painting. So anyway, I don't take a chance on my level 3 canvases, but in the description below you'll see the paints that I've used, and I give you a list of all the paints I've used. I'm also going to give you the link to Cindy Art Studio and her painting that she did in these colors, and you can see the difference and maybe you can tell what paints she uses. So anyway, in the description there's also the recipes for my paints, how I mix my paints, and timestamps. So if you just want to see the blowout or you want to see the final results, you can go to the timestamps and it'll tell you the final results is at 8 minutes and 22 seconds. You can go right to that on the video, and also have links to other YouTube videos that I have watched and still watch. So anyway, just keep watching and enjoy. Okay, so don't know if you saw, I did a boo-boo there, but I fixed it and I flooded my canvas. So now I'm going to pop my bubbles. Got something in my paint there. Get my tweezers. Okay, and let's see what this is. That's something big. Ooh. Oh! Alright, let's throw that away. Alright, so let's see here if I need to put any more paint down. I think I'm good. So this is a darker paint, and remember what I told you in the past about using darker paints. If you're using a level 3 canvas, you definitely want to paint your edges the color that you're using, or a similar color, darker color, whatever. Because when your paint falls over, you'll be able to see the canvas if you don't. On these level 1s, and if you don't want to do this, you can still paint the edges. But what I do is, for the next 30 minutes or so, I just come and dab my finger. And if it's looking lighter, and it could look lighter on the edge, on the rim, or definitely on these corners, I just come and dab, put my finger in the paint and dab a little bit on the sides. And I'll show you a little bit what I'm talking about when I bring you down for the wet results. So anyway, all right, so let's get to pouring. So this is that purple color. Oops, and I've got paint. I'm going to do a little bit what she did, and she didn't pour it right on top of each other. She poured a little on. Of course, she didn't flood her canvas like I flooded mine. She left a little blank space there between it. You can go back and look at it on YouTube. But I just thought I'd try the colors anyway. So, and then she put her green over here. And I'm just going to drizzle this pearl lilac. I shook my paintings right before I did this, so it tends to pop out real quick. So I'm just going to kind of drizzle this like she did. She had hers all in cups though, so I'm going to drizzle this. And I really don't have any idea what brand, what color she used. I'm just kind of winging all that. So anyway, oops, it feels like I might have something stuck in my bottle. I'll work on that later. Okay, and then she just starts layering these in the center here. She does add more white, but I've already got my white down, so I'm not going to worry about it. And this part she just layered on, so I'm just going to layer it. And I debated on using a solid color for this, but I like the pearl, so just went ahead and did the pearl sea green by Arteza. And actually, I can, oops, oh gosh, I don't know what's up today. I can add a little bit of this in with that. And this is turquoise green by Amsterdam, but it's a solid. It's not, it doesn't have any pearl or metallic. Let me clean this up. I'll be right back. I needed to do that because yellow and blue make green. I didn't want my yellow to become green, so anyway, and this is the yellow. It's primary yellow by Liquitex. All right, so let's blow this out. Oh, we gotta pop our bubbles. Okay, now let me blow this out. Let's see what happens. That's different. You like lots of different colors. It's very pretty. Kind of would like more negative space right here, so I might, I know I don't scrape a lot of paintings, but I might just scrape that off of there and just put white on. So let me turn this off. I'll get my scraper. I'll be right back. Okay, let me see if I can do this without making too big of a mess. So I'm just gonna do like that. And kind of would like that off too. Now when you scrape your painting, you want to be sure to get your sides scraped. And then I always clean my canvas off, because when you go to put that white paint back on there, it's going to show through if you don't get it fully cleaned. So let me get some napkins. And we'll work on getting that cleaned up, and then I'll put some white paint down. I don't really like to scrape paintings. I feel like you waste paint, but sometimes if you don't like the way it looks, sometimes I don't really, and if it's on one of these smaller canvases, I just make do, but I really didn't like the way that looked, so. And I'm gonna put my name on this. I don't really want to have my name on something I'm not completely satisfied with. All right, so I think that will be clean enough to where it won't shine through. So you take that, and then you take your handy dandy squeeze bottle like this, and you just put some more paint down. And I'm gonna let that kind of, gotta make sure you do it with a clean finger. I think I've been poking at that blue with this finger. All right, ooh, this is gonna be pretty down here for some jewelry, pendants or something that I'll make. Let me put this over to the side so I don't spill it. I'm a little spilly today. So, okay, so let's see here. I'm going to blow into this so it's not just this stark line, and see what I can do with it. I don't mind that, but I might need to, so it looks a little bit more natural. Let's see here. Move my stuff out of the way. And I'll get my shirt in it. Alright. I'm going to blow this out a little bit. A little bit more. All right. looks a little better. Okay. I need to blow some off the side here. Alright. Looks a little bit more natural. Okay, I think I like that best. Alright, there's really some cool cells happening here. I'll show you when you come down. And this part's really cool too. It's got all the colors in it. Alright, I'm going to show you a close-up. One thing before I bring you down is I'm seeing a little bit of color in here. I don't like to torch my paintings after I get them blown out because it makes them freckly like this. If I torched the whole thing, it would make it freckly like that is. And I don't mind a little bit of it, but I don't want my whole picture. But right in here I see some color, and I'm going to see if I can't bring it out. Yeah, see? It also made the freckles here, but this will create a lot of cells. And that's what I was shooting for. Alright, I'm going to bring you down for a close-up. Okay, here's the wet results. Very colorful painting. And this blue's gonna dry darker, so, but it won't look black. It'll look a blue. So anyway, just wanted to show you all these cells that are happening here. This is really cool right in here. Really cool. Then you get up in here, all that yellow. Not a real yellow person, but I like it a little bit in a painting. Looks good. Oh, and look at those cells. Those are pretty. Pretty. They're looking darker right there. I don't know if I can get a true color of them or not. That's more of a true color. But anyway, just wanted to show you what they look like up close. And there it is. I'm going to take a stick and scrape my drips, and let's see if I can show you here what I'm talking about. Okay, so do you see that corner right there? It's looking like that white is coming through, so I just take my finger, put it in the paint, and I'll have to do it several times until it's dry. And this corner too has probably got the same thing going on. Yep. See how the canvas is shining through there? So just come and get a little paint on my finger, and my fingers will be blue for a few days, but that's okay. Alright, there it is. I'll show you the dried results. Okay, so here are the dry results. This is number 300 for me. I sign number and date on my paintings on the back. And this really turned out nice with the dark blue, but I lightened it up a little bit so it doesn't look black. It definitely looks like a navy blue, and then that yellow in there just really turned out pretty. And these, look at those cells. I'll bring you down for a closer look with the flash on. I wanted to show you I sign number and date on my paintings on the back. Let me bring you down with the flash on. Okay, so here it is with the flash on. Definitely gonna get some shimmer in here with these. Look at that, look at all that shimmer. And then the yellow really looks nice in this painting. It's a contrast. A lot of times when you put yellow and blue together, you get mud, but this painting just did so nice, keeping the yellow separated. And look at those cells right in there, aren't those pretty? They just did so nice together. So pretty. This is my 300th painting. It's a 12 by 16. And there you have it. Like and subscribe and be blessed. Thank you now for watching.